Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I am Phil.
And I'm Cole.
We slum it hard so you don't have to. Guys, so yesterday, actually the last few days, for some reason I've been on this really big old school punk kick. It started, I was looking for something to watch on my smart TV. So I was searching, just the general one where it looks at all the apps. And I remembered that there was a video of movie that I had seen a long time ago called American Hardcore. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
No.
And I remembered it being really good, and I was like, I'm going to watch this. And so I put it on.
We even talked about it.
We may have. There was a book and a documentary that came out probably 2004 or 5, maybe 6 or 7. Anyway, it was when I was in college, so I remember that.
Yeah.
But I remember it being really good, and so I started watching it, and I was like, this is not very good. It doesn't really follow a good storyline, and it just shows every possible band. Anyway, it wasn't great, so I was whatever. And so I was I'm bored, and so I looked at the related stuff, and I saw A Fat Wreck. I was I'm gonna watch that. Have you seen that?
Yes.
That's really good.
It's way good.
I was I didn't even listen to most of these bands, but I was super into it, and it was a good. A well-made documentary.
I did listen to most of those bands, but yeah, they just, it's a much better made movie.
But it made me think that I should listen to those bands because I do like Propaganda quite a bit, especially their newer stuff that's a little bit more metal. I was some of these bands are kind of cool, even though they all do kind of sound the same.
That was my main. The main way I would hear about new bands was through the Fat Records compilations.
Oh, really?
And through the
I got the Epitaph ones, the Punkorama. I had those, but I never really got into the Fat sound.
See, those are my favorite ones. Mm-hmm. So Face to Face is obviously amazing. And, Swingin' Utters are really good. They always had, Me First on those, too. But, yeah.
Who's gonna pick you up and take you home with them tonight? Is that a
Did you watch
song?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, it sounds better than that when they do it, but.
I'm sure, yeah.
Did you watch the other F Word?
I saw that one a few years ago, yeah. That was pretty cool.
I don't remember it that well, but I remember liking it when I watched it.
It's just all these dudes who grew up, now they're dads.
Yeah, exactly. The other F word is fatherhood, Phil.
Yeah, I kind of hate that dude. What's his name? I don't hate him, but from Pennywise. I just never liked Pennywise. I always thought they sucked.
Well, they always represented they were too mainstream in my mind for some, even though they weren't mainstream at all, but again, we were talking about Tool, and the main reason I didn't like Tool is because all the people who liked them were idiots. I felt kind of the same way about Pennywise.
I also felt they were very serious, but not their lyrics weren't good enough to take themselves as seriously as they did.
Yeah Propaganda, they took themselves seriously, but they were actually being serious.
But they also had joke songs about weird stuff.
I always admired bands more that didn't take themselves seriously at all. Blink-182 was the quintessential band that didn't take themselves seriously at all.
Yeah.
And that was the reason I stopped. I liked Green Day less as time went on, because it's you guys are musicians, you're not freaking activists or whatever.
So I watched that one, The Fat Wreck, and I was this is cool. And then I was I'm going to watch more. And so I found this one called Salad Days. Excuse me. That's all about the so it's all about the DC punk scene from 1980 to 1990. It's like the full decade.
Oh, interesting.
And it's so good. It's really good.
I'll have to watch that.
Starts with like, obviously Minor Threat, not even Minor Threat, like before they were Minor Threat, but
yeah.
It's cool, and it talks about the whole scene and how it like morphed, and then it ends with Fugazi, who was
Bad Brains. They were there
Bad
too,
Brains.
weren't they? I always like lump them with Minor Threat in my mind.
Bad Brains were there, and then they like moved to New York, so they're kind of like, they kind of were like the band that all the other bands started because of, and then they like moved, and they didn't last that long, so they weren't like a big part of the story, but they were like in the beginning they were very important.
Yeah, kind of like Operation Ivy, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
There's crazy. Another one about like Bay Area punks specifically, and Southern California, I guess. But I'm trying to remember what it was called. But it was really good too. Like it basically, and it was all like focused on the 80s and 90s. So it was all the bands that I recognized and everything.
It'd be cool if they did one on like the Orange County scene. There's a lot of good bands from Orange County.
Yeah, totally.
Circle Jerks is probably my favorite punk band.
The funny thing is that like one, mainstream movie that was made about punk was set in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
With Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
SLC Punk. Did
I
you guys
remember
ever watch
that movie? But I bet it's not very good.
I would imagine that it's probably better than I thought it was at the time, because I was really like, this is not even punk. This is like fake punk.
Yeah, but that's the thing. For me, it was like, oh, finally somebody's recognizing what an amazing punk scene Salt Lake City has, Now the mainstream will finally know.
We'll finally know. The mainstream punks will finally know about the Salt Lake punks. The whole punk world will know. Oh, what was I was going to say... Oh, never mind. Oh, did you guys ever see that movie Suburbia?
I remember it. I'm aware of it, but I never watched it.
So it was like this. I remember in high school, it was like this big thing. Like, oh, have you seen Suburbia? Have you seen Suburbia? And no one had seen it because, I mean, it wasn't like a big thing. It was like a big thing with my
fleas in it.
With my like 4 friends. Yeah, because it's like this like old like this punk movie that was made, and like no one could see it. And back then there was no internet, so it was like somehow we found a cassette of it, like a VHS tape of it, and and we had a substitute one day, and we convinced him to let us watch this movie that he didn't know what it was.
What?
Yes. So we watched
That
Suburbia
is a bad substitute teacher.
in class, and it was like the craziest thing.
It looks like it's like Outsiders or something, but
it kind of is, but it's like it's like super like low budget, and like in the very beginning of it, it's like all I remember is the beginning. Not all I remember, but the main thing I remember from that is that at the beginning, there's like a little girl, like a baby or toddler or something that gets eaten by coyotes.
Jeez,
what?
And like.
Oh my gosh.
And then I remember Flea talking about like the drugs that were in his sleeping bag that he couldn't find. All I remember is when I went to sleep, I had like 30 pink triangles, and now they're gone.
Is that the one that's
the
starring?
Wikipedia page, and the budget for that movie was $500,000.
Well, that's a lot, but
okay, maybe
on one hand is a lot, but
else.
also it's like very little.
Yeah, it's Penelope Spheris. That's right. Who did it?
Starring Giovanni Ribisi?
No. This movie's from 1983.
83. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so it's
thinking
like
of
it was like
90s.
in the middle of the punk scene, and like all the punk guys were in it. Like
Also,
most of the actors are not actually actors.
Right.
It's Giovanni Ribisi.
It's Ribisi.
Giovanni Ribbit.
It's not Ribisi, but there is a movie called Suburbia that has
Well,
Giovanni
I think,
Ribisi.
I don't know if it was like a remake
Thank
or
you.
if it was because it was a similar premise.
No, it
Or
was the
similar
one I was
feel
thinking
to
of
it.
with Giovanni is much less punk rock.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's more like disenfranchised youth.
Okay.
Generally,
It's more like a Clerks.
Yes.
I think I've seen that one too, and I think that one was probably a better movie. Oh wait, no, that one's cool. Where they're like hanging outside like Circle K the whole time. Well, the Circle A.
No.
Yeah. Maybe not the whole time, but there's like a
What's
lot
a
of
7-Eleven. Yeah, it says that it's set in a convenience store that's based on the 7-Eleven in the Four Corners section of the west side of Woburn.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time. Is Steve Zahn in that one too?
That sounds right.
It's Steve Zane.
Yeah, I do remember that one, and I do remember liking that one. That was like around the same time as like, well, like you said, Clerks, but it reminds me more of like Dazed and Confused, but it's not a time.
I was thinking, what's that? The record store one. That's not
Empire
good.
Records.
That one.
It was not bad.
Wait, what did you say?
Empire
you
Records
said
is pretty
that's
good.
Not good.
Yeah.
Empire Records is freaking amazing. What are you
I'm
talking
just saying.
about?
Okay. I am pointing out that now I'm.
What are you
I'm pointing out that you're wrong and dumb. Because Empire Records is great.
No.
Because it has freaking what's her face in it? Who's the blonde chick?
Rundgren.
Joey Lauren Adams,
Yeah.
Rundgren.
and also Liv
Liv
Rundgren.
Rundgren.
Liv Tyler has Liv Rundgren. Dude.
Liv Tyler, Die Rundgren.
I was
I think it was the reverse.
trying to make like essentially that same joke, but you made it better than I would have. If you're not living, you're Rundgren. Yeah, dude.
This movie,
Empire
it
Records
looks
is
like
great.
Giovanni Ribisi is like just playing his character from Friends. It looks like.
Yes, he played. In fact, I think he started. He was in Friends after that.
Oh,
that
really?
role. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
probably
sure.
because that's '96.
So he was like. So they were like, "Hey, that character that you played in that dumb movie that nobody cares about, could you do that on Friends? Could you be Phoebe's brother?"
And then,
And he's like, "Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for."
He's basically getting typecast as this weird role that he had on a sitcom.
Did
So
you guys
another
watch the
one
movie
you should.
Boiler Room.
I
Don't
heard he's
watch
a
it. It's not
Scientologist. Boiler Room?
Is he
Oh,
like a physicist or what?
no. I don't know what
So,
his rank is in
Aaron,
Scientology.
Yes.
He's a grand wizard in Scientology.
No, physicist is one rank.
You should watch Filmage. Which
Is that the
documentary?
yeah? Of course.
about the
I don't have to. You
descendants?
you don't have to tell me what it is. I'm just kidding.
Like, shut up. I'm not even going to let you tell me what it is.
Tell me.
No, based on
No.
the name of it, I guess what it was.
Yeah. It's really good, though.
Because I'm that big of a fan, people.
I was like, I loved The Descendants, but I didn't know much about, because like everyone kind of knew that Milo left the band to go to college, but that was kind of the extent of it. So it's kind of, they talk a lot more about that, obviously.
That's in the Bad Religion song too. Remember that?
Yeah.
Milo went to college, but you knew about that.
Yeah.
They
Well,
have a new
there was an
album out.
album called Milo Goes to College.
Oh, that was not a Bad Religion album though.
I know, it was a Descendants album, Aaron. And that one's just on YouTube.
Well, I was saying because you said, but everyone knew about that, and I was like, that part is in the song.
Oh, yes, I know. That's the line in the song.
Yes, sorry, my bad.
I did
Wait,
know
Filmage
that.
is on YouTube. You said,
Yeah.
but you have to like pay for it.
No, it's just YouTube. It's an hour and a half long.
Oh,
It's
sick!
just a
I'm gonna
YouTube
watch
video.
that for sure.
Oh wait, watch this movie on YouTube. Oh, maybe not. Maybe
I
you
think
have
it's
to
like
pay
behind a
for it.
paywall.
That's bullcrap.
Tis
At one point,
because I think I tried to
watched
watch it before.
I watched it somewhere on my phone for free.
Probably like in another nation.
That's actually very likely. Probably in the Philippines.
Um,
Dude, I'm gonna be blessing the rains down in Africa next month.
Sick.
So we'll get to have another low quality episode from across the pond.
No, high quality.
Maybe.
Guys, this beautiful episode of the Gear Slum is sponsored by our friends and yours. Sinusoid. Sinusoid Pro Audio. Sinusoid Pro Audio Couture.
Audio. That's how an Australian would say audio. Audio.
Audio.
Audio.
No. Audio.
Nay.
Check out their Slate cables. Slate is one of the best instrument cables on the market, plain and simple. It's got super low capacitance. It's got double spiral shielding. So much noise rejection. Tangle resistant, thick stranded core. Sounds great. If you want extra clarity, a tighter low end, and increased response to dynamics when you're playing, you need the Sinusoid Slate. Also, the outer jacket is special because it's kind of sticky a little bit. It's got a tack to it. It's not sticky, but it's got a tack to it.
What kind of a tack does it have?
It has a tack to it.
Oh.
As opposed to those other cables with no tact.
No tact. Yeah, it's
They're
very
tactless.
tactful. So it doesn't tangle up, and it doesn't like slide around on stage, which is really cool.
Which apparently is what working musos prefer.
Working musos love it.
Like,
Slate is
for
available
those of
in
us-
gray, white, and red, and we love the red because it's Gear Slum red.
Mm-hmm.
Buy one. Buy a Slate now. Sinusoid.com.
And if you're one of the cool kids that got an HX Stomp, because a lot of people have been getting those, you're going to need a TRS to XLR cable. And there's no better place to get one than Sinusoid.
That's true.
What do you need that for?
Because it doesn't have any XLR outputs on it. It's like if you want to run direct into a mixer or something like that, you probably need one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's like a balanced output, but it's a 1/4-inch TRS cable.
Yeah.
Just.
Gotcha.
Also, what was I going to say?
For like size purposes or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, if you
right?
join our
Yeah,
street crew
yeah.
for the low price of however many dollars you want a month, like $5, you get 10% off all purchases at sinusoid.com. So check that out. Sick.
And you also get like some stickers and a patch and a few other things.
Yeah, you also get some discounts from some of
after a
our
couple
other
weeks.
sponsors.
And obviously you get street cred.
And if you need those discount codes, just PM Phil. Because he definitely knows all of them.
PM him for all of our passwords too. For
Actually,
all our, like our
if you
Podbean
want
account and stuff.
Probably if you just told me that you were in the street crew, I'd probably just believe you and give you all the codes.
Well, you have no way of verifying it.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have a way. You just don't know what it is.
I know what it is. I just don't know how to access it. I do.
Phil, you know what you need? You need the key.
What's that mean?
Dun
Just
dun
kidding.
dun.
I don't know.
I don't either.
The key is
Did
the
you
name.
guys see that
the
link
key
I
is
sent
the
you?
name of the organization that dude founded to get people into college.
Is it really?
Yeah. He called his organization The Key, which that's the worst part about that thing. It's all a mess, but the worst part in my mind is that some of the people, the money that they gave him, they like wrote it off on their taxes as a charitable donation to that organization.
Yeah.
So they got like money back from it.
Yes.
They're like,
It's
not
the
only are we
absolute
going to do this,
worst.
but we're also going to use it as a way to pay less taxes.
Did you see that that meme that I think I sent it to you
The
guys?
meme, I see this LA Weekly article that you sent.
Yes, that's different. But if we're talking about the key, it's about that.
Oh, we're not.
You just did.
I know, but we're not.
We're
now.
done. We've moved on. Phil.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, here it's in our other thread with Andy. It's
Are you going to read that
office.
tweet?
Your child was not accepted to our college, Felicity Huffman. Then I will have to do a crime. Admissions office. You can just donate some money and we'll let him in. Felicity Huffman. A crime I shall do. Admissions office.
Oh my gosh, he's still going.
Just make a donation. Felicity Huffman. Crime time.
Yep.
It's funny.
It is
Please go.
funny, but it's not
like,
that
okay.
funny. like everyone, I saw people saying like this is the greatest tweet of all time, and it's like only if Crime Time.
No, it's not the greatest.
Or one of those things is a reference to some Felicity Huffman thing.
Crime Time.
No, the thing is not that writing is not funny. What is funny is that is what happened. I mean, not word for word,
sort
but
of.
Why would she not just give $600,000 to the school?
Because everyone's doing that. Like, there's no guarantee that you're going to get into the school for doing that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone.
Oh.
I gave $600,000 to USC, and I don't even like them.
Yeah. I mean, literally every student gives $600,000 to USC.
No, but
That's how
before
much
they
it
get
costs
in,
to go there.
Yeah, but before you get in.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, well, so, like, if we're going to get into it, I think this is...
No,
like,
Aaron, we're changing the subject. So anyway, so the LAweekly.com
the normal
article.
thing. Like, that's the normal privileged way, but they were like, we're even more privileged. We need to make sure that there's, like, a sure way to get in. We will definitely get in.
But it seems, okay.
And also, it's like they wanted it to appear, like, part of it is the fact that they wanted it to appear like they deserved to get in.
Also, to me, it's an added strangeness that they lied to their kids about it.
But
Like,
that's
they
the
wanted
thing.
to-
Like,
No,
it's like this whole, like, coddling thing.
Okay, protecting, yeah. But it's like,
It's
I
a
want my kids
participation
to believe
trophy
they
for
got
their
in on their
kids.
own merit,
Yeah. It
which is weird.
It's really weird. And the kids, like, don't care. They're like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
want to go to college. Okay, but you're going to go, and I'm going to make it seem like you deserve to go. Yeah, but I don't really want to go. Okay, you're going. It's so dumb. I hate it.
That's a
all.
funnier tweet right there.
What?
No, I was just saying. That was
I don't-
like the
I don't
same
want to go to
format.
USC.
That was like the same format of
Mom, I don't want to go to USC.
them using
paid a
these
lot of
back
money.
channels is like taking steroids, and it's like,
Here's the
well, you still had to go lift a bunch of weights and stuff. Why didn't you just go lift the weights? And it's like, well, this made it so I'd be even stronger. Like it tips
the most
it tips
absurd
the
part
scales
of
in your
it
favor even
in
more.
my mind is that, like, now we have to make a distinction between, like, legal ways to bribe your way into college and illegal ways to bribe yourself into college. And it's like,
Yeah, that's true.
it's all a mess, and it's all
That's
shady.
why higher ed. It's the same thing with like NCAA sports.
Yeah,
Like, because they try and pretend it's something that it isn't.
yeah,
Like, it's just a business, 100%.
exactly.
But it's like, oh, somehow we got away with not paying our players 200 years ago. So now we're
Right.
going to keep doing that, even though we're making billions of dollars off of them.
Yeah, yeah. It's gross.
It's the same thing. And like higher ed tries to pretend that they're, that they're not just a freaking scam for one thing. But
Right. We just want to educate and, like, make
I heard
the
this
world
guy in
better.
my office. I overheard this guy in my office talking about like, yeah, and that's why socialists, the only reason they just hate rich people because they're jealous and they just want what.
They want to be rich too.
And it's like, no, they hate rich people because they do freaking crap like this.
Yeah.
Rich people are a-holes.
Yes.
Did I tell you guys that
Except all my
Evidently
family
the-
members listening. I didn't mean that. Don't cancel your Patreon accounts.
did I tell you guys that the my neighborhood super rich school?
I don't know.
Maybe
Did
not
you?
super rich, but the rich school in my neighborhood.
I can't remember what Aaron's still bitter about. So I'm trying to remember what he's angry at you about.
A bunch of the families, I guess, gave this guy money for quote unquote consulting for their kids to get into college. Also,
Is that
And,
like Forrest Gump's mom, like the consulting she did to get Forrest into school?
well, I don't know exactly what they did. I just know that they gave him money, and I don't know what, like, because obviously there are variations of things that he did to assist people in getting their kids into college, right? So I don't know, like, to what end, but they, but yeah, there were a number of families, I guess, at the rich school in my neighborhood, which I also heard a few years ago that the parents in this same rich school were trying to get doctors to give their kids like low-level special ed diagnoses so they could get their kids with that diagnosis, then they could get their kids extended test taking time and stuff.
Yeah, that's what these guys did too. Or one of the
Yeah,
things
but-
they did.
But we're talking about like, hey, I need a doctor to say my kid is special ed.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I can't believe like isn't
like
that,
it's
that
one
is
thing
so
it's
bizarre.
one thing to lie about your kid being smarter than he is, but to lie about your kid being dumber than he is
it's like my kid simultaneously has learning disabilities that they need extra time, but also they're going to get really high scores. What I mean, you can like there's no.
Yes, like somebody who's autistic can get like a very high score on the SAT.
But it's
whatever,
like,
but it does.
We
seem
both need
like
special help, and also we want you to think you got in on your own merit. Like
exactly,
do both those things at the same time.
It's so stupid.
It's like the kid's like, "Why am I getting extra time? Like I've never needed this before." Oh, don't worry, you need it. But also, you're very smart. You're doing really good.
It bugs me because
you're doing really good.
And I know, like, it just reminds me of some of the stories you've told us, Phil, about students who clearly, and it's like a very common thing, who, you know, students who very clearly have failed in some way, and then their parents come in to yell at you and basically say, like,
yeah,
you can't do this to my kid. He's better than this. He's going to get into college and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, your kid is stupid, and you're only making him stupider by trying to, you know, justify his bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me so angry for you. So whenever we go for our parent-teacher conferences, I'm always just like, anything, like, I will believe you. Because teachers are, like, defensive sometimes, too, because they're expecting, if they tell you anything negative about your kid, that you're going to, like, try and argue with them. And I'm like, no, I believe 100% of what you're saying, and I'm sorry that you have to put up with their bullcrap, you know?
Yeah, I know Aaron doesn't have to deal with this probably at all, but whenever I email a parent, like, I'm always wondering, okay, how's this gonna go?
I mean, I don't have to deal with parents. I have to deal with like young adults, which is like worse.
That's true. I mean, but like
imagine your students.
It's just different.
Well, it's different. Like imagine your students in 2 years, and now you have to deal with them directly.
Right. Well, but I do. I mean, you know, you do deal with them directly, but
you have to convince them that your grade is fair and not their parents.
But like Phil has to do both. Like he has to deal with them, understand. And then they bring in reinforcements or whatever.
Right. All I'm saying is I do deal with it just in a different way. So I don't deal with parents, but I do have to email people and worry about the same thing. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, you email people?
Okay, let's move on then.
This is like if a woman talks about how childbirth is really painful, and Aaron's like, "No, I've had painful experiences. I know what it's like." I'm just making a joke, Aaron.
I've written so many emails. It's hard.
I've had to deal with pain.
I'm sure writing emails is hard for you because you're a freaking million years old. All right, that felt good, and I apologize. Felt really good to say that.
Worth it.
That's a weird thing to feel good about. I mean, it's like
I didn't know what direction you were going. Like,
I call it a B.
I bet it is hard to write emails because you're illiterate.
Feels good.
Yeah, my problem with emails is being old is the least of my problems with writing emails.
Guys, let me make an aside here. So my amplifier has recently stopped working, but anyway, so I'm looking on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
And there's an ad here from Yuma, Arizona for an iPhone 7 Plus, in parentheses black, for $300. But the thumbnail is just a woman with very large breasts,
personality,
tracts of land,
hanging like half out of her top, and she's wearing denim shorts that are like unbuttoned and unzipped. And I'm like, how is this an ad for an iPhone? This is an ad for sex, right? It has to be.
Yeah, I'm buying.
I'm sharing it.
She's selling.
You're sharing it?
Send us the link.
Phone. I'm reading the ad now. Phone needs to be jailbreak for my daughter. Changed the password and forgot it. Also, it's cracked, but phone still functions properly. Make me offers.
I'm wondering if
this sounds like the worst thing imaginable.
You know, and then you click on it. Then there are pictures of the phone in there. It's just like an old cracked iPhone.
This is like a dating ad, and it's like, just so you know, I have multiple kids with different people, and I have tons of emotional baggage, and I'm abusive. Hit me up.
I'm abusive.
So I'm assuming this guy just like used this image as a way to get people to click on his ad, which has worked.
Or is like they cracked down on
you said the
casual encounters. Like this is like the code.
Cracked iPhone.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, cracked
probably.
iPhone is like a specific. It's like a very specific sexual act.
Yes.
It's like also have drugs.
Is it 32 gig or 64 gig? And that's like they're asking you some specific aspect of it.
Ooh,
never tried
LTD, LTD
never tried
212 here for
never tried
$200.
crack iPhone, but willing to give it a shot with the right person.
I kind
It's
of
like,
want
does
this.
it have a quote unquote headphone jack? Or does it need a dongle?
In desperate need of headphone jack. See?
Of headphone jack.
Rib dinners? It's weird how many people are selling
Did you say
food on
ribbed
Facebook
dinners?
Marketplace. Is that a thing where you are too?
No, not. I think what happens though in Facebook Marketplace is when you click on them, then they show you more of those. So you clicked on the
you
food.
just screwed yourself.
No, but that's like a thing around here anyway. Like people just selling food.
Yeah, we've talked about it before.
Yeah,
and
like in
I see
grocery
food
stores
too,
and stuff like that.
No, like when I worked at a mall,
You
people
can
would,
buy
like,
food here too.
when I worked at a mall, people would come in like at least twice a week and be like, "Hey, you guys want to buy lunch?" And it's like, "Oh, are you doing like a fundraiser or something?" They're like, "No, we just like sell lunch to people. Like they'll come around in the morning and take orders and bring lunch back later." And it's like they're doing it out of their house.
It's actually kind of
cool.
it. I mean, it's like a lot of like food trucks here will do that. They'll go to a specific business every day and they'll come in the morning and say, "Hey, we're going to be here at lunch. What do you want?" type of thing. Most of my Facebook Marketplace is either like subwoofers for cars, or like Nintendo DS stuff because I bought a DS from some guy one time, so probably thinks I'm obsessed with DS.
I mean, you are.
No food in mine though. Oh man, here's a sweet Flying V though. Have you guys ever played a Flying V or Explorer?
I have.
That you were like,
not.
That you were like, yeah, this is a guitar I want to keep.
Oh, I haven't even played one.
Oh,
but I really do. I want a Flying V because they look freaking cool.
But like, I don't know if like, do they look cool on everyone?
Maybe not. If I was going to get a Les Paul, I would get a Flying V or an Explorer instead. I'll say that. Although what I'd probably more likely get is a Firebird because I have played those and those are pretty cool.
I think same.
But if I was going to get it like an actual Gibson, I wouldn't get a Les Paul and I probably wouldn't get an SG. I would probably get one of the weirder models.
Yeah. I just can't play SG. I've realized that a lot of guitars that make sense, that look cool for people when they're standing up and playing them on stage, don't work for me because I'm fat. So like SGs, because of where the strap pin's like on the back of the neck,
right?
They just like dive forward for me for some reason, like away from my body, you know?
Right, because the balance is different.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Here's another question. Why do people, when they're selling a guitar, why on earth do they cover up the serial number? It makes no sense to me.
It's like that thing that people do. Like they think that someone's going to steal the identity of their guitar or something.
Yeah. It's the same thing when people sell their car and they cover their license plate. It's like,
I know.
Your car is just out in the world all day, every day. Like people can see your license plate.
It's like they think... Like the license plate thing makes more sense, I guess, but it's like, do you think people are gonna like run your plates and find out where you live and like come rob you or something? Like, but
yeah, like
imagine
it's so much easier.
The type of house robber who like, I only steal from people who are selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Like,
and also I have access to like the license plate database or whatever.
Yeah, it's like they don't just walk around like normal thieves. They have to find someone on Facebook to rob. So stupid.
It's the dumbest thing.
People are really protective about their information in like the most asinine ways, and
that's what's funny
like,
is like
ways.
They're not protective in the ways that they should be. Like everyone already has all of your information, but you think that covering the serial number on your guitar is going to protect you from something.
It's hilarious.
Like I kind of feel I feel the same way about people who tape over their webcams, but that's a little more understandable. Partially because like there are apps that like
yeah.
If you for sure know that you never want anyone, like if somebody initiated a video call with you or something like that and it just picked it up automatically, or I don't know, like there's at least some legitimate reasons that like, yes, that is a camera on your computer. And there have been, like there was actually a local computer company that was installing spyware on people's computers when they would bring them in for service, and it would like turn on their webcams and record them and stuff.
That's creepy.
Yeah. But it's
okay.
But go ahead, Phil.
So I think maybe this is okay. So my school, for some reason,
there's
a lot of people, kids and teachers, with stickers over the camera on their laptops.
Phil, my school has people too.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but do your people have parents, Aaron?
Not most of them.
No, you're supposed to say, what do you mean by your people?
Oh. Hilarious. Go on.
And I've said to them, well, the kids, why do you do that? And they're like, well, because what if people are spying on me? And I go, okay, what if people are spying on you while you're doing your homework?
Yeah.
And they're like,
well, no, it's because they're all jerking it in front of their computers.
No, like, yeah, like, what if I'm, well, no, like, not doing my homework.
What they say is like, what if I'm getting out of the shower or something?
But it's your freaking laptop. Like, do you leave your laptop open, pointed at the shower?
Yeah, exactly. No, but they do leave their laptop open when they're looking at porn. That's the thing. Nobody wants to say that, but that is the thing.
And so then it's your face. I'm like,
depending on the angle of the
laptop. And
it doesn't depend on the angle.
Okay, so then I said, why don't you put a freaking sticker over the camera on your phone? And then they look super confused, and I go, yeah. You probably stare at your phone. You probably do weirder things on your phone than you do on your laptop, but you don't put a sticker on the camera on your phone? Why not? Like, what is the reasoning for putting a freaking sticker over the camera on your laptop? Maybe the camera on your desktop that's like always aimed at your room or whatever. I get that. If there's some possibility.
But like your laptop,
you see what I'm saying?
If you're going to go get in the shower, just close the lid on your laptop. Point it away from where you're going to be or whatever.
Yeah, when you're not using your laptop, you stick it in your freaking backpack. Are you afraid that it's like, what are you thinking it's recording?
I bet it's like parents, honestly. Well,
I know.
Let's be honest. Like a lot of the people at your school probably watch InfoWars and what's his face.
No joke.
They're afraid that Momo is going to watch them while they're in the shower.
No, they're afraid that Obama is going to watch them.
Okay, literally. Okay, I'm
Obomo?
not. This is that a very sad.
Obomo. Someone needs to make.
I feel like you're making fun of me when you say that. Obomo.
Aaron Obomo.
The Obomo challenge. It's like a distorted picture of Aaron.
Yeah.
Spliced into kid shows, telling kids to commit suicide. So no joke, we had a meeting. Should I say this?
No, you shouldn't. It does not sound interesting.
We had a meeting about standardized tests.
Here we go.
That's good.
And convincing, like, hey, we need our kids to take this standardized test seriously because it makes the school look good. And the administrator, like, he straight up said, and I know that a lot of our population are really untrustworthy of state and federal standardized testing because they're afraid of what the government is going to do with the results. And he said it seriously. And I was like, and I started laughing. And he kind of smiled because he knows that it's ridiculous. But it was like a legitimate concern that parents had. He had parents saying, I don't know. I don't want my kids.
I'm like proud of my faith and of my beliefs and everything, but things like this make me not proud of it because I know that the majority of the people at your school share my faith, and the majority of them are apparently complete idiots.
Well, it's just it's
naive,
like
just naive idiots that will believe whatever garbage somebody tells them, as long as that person is like right wing, basically.
Yes, exactly. InfoWars. There's got to be something somewhere. But okay, here's the thing. What?
Everyone knows that standardized tests turn the frogs gay. It's common knowledge, people. Come on.
It's common. But like, what? Like, your kid did great on a standardized test. What is the government going to do with that?
They're going to recruit him to be in Al Qaeda, Phil.
Oh.
It's Al Qaeda.
That's
also
not how,
cool.
That's not how our people say
it's
it.
It's Al Qaeda.
Check this one out. What's the one, Aaron? What's the test that has to do with the military placement?
It's called is it the ASVAB?
That's the one. So they did a full on push. Aaron and ASVAB. They did a full on like a big giant push for everybody to take the ASVAB test.
Uh-huh.
And because another thing is like, yay, the military. Like,
yeah, gross.
Everybody took the test and was super excited about it. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. If you're concerned,
you know exactly what they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
That's the one to be concerned about.
I bet
now
as
the
each
military
kid
knows what your kid's strengths and weaknesses are. That's the one.
I bet
no one cares if your kid is like good at reading paragraphs.
Yeah,
how are they going to use that against you?
Yeah.
Like if I'm trying to take over the world and I have a choice between understanding everyone's strengths and weaknesses or knowing who can comprehend a paragraph, I'm going to go with the former.
Yeah. How good are you at analyzing a text and inferring meaning from My Antonia?
Oh, that's such a good book.
I haven't read it, but it was all over the test. But yeah, it's like, are you good at explaining and understanding and summarizing and analyzing?
That's like this idea that everything associated with the military is good.
Right.
You know, like I bet they told every kid as they turned in their test, like, "Oh, thank you for your service in taking this test."
I should have said that. No, I should not have said it. But that's a funny joke. That's a really funny joke.
Yes,
hey,
you shouldn't have said it. But
you guys, thank you for your service. What? You took the ASVAB test. Thank you for your service,
guys. Real quick.
Have you seen that?
Quick question.
Have you seen that?
Go ahead.
What's the really Larry David show? The
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, have you seen that Curb where he meets this guy that got back from war?
Yeah,
2 years before.
And he doesn't say thank you for your service.
They're like, why didn't you say thank you for your service? He's like, I don't know.
Because it's like he's like, hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah, he goes.
They're going around the whole circle and everyone's saying,
and the guy looks
thank
super
you for
pissed.
your service. Thank you for your service. I love it.
It's so good.
Folks, this
Jerry,
episode...
he was really offended that you didn't say thank you for your service.
Really
Why didn't you just say it?
This episode is also sponsored by Gun Street Wiring Shop. Gun Street Wiring Shop makes custom and... what's the opposite of custom?
Basic.
Custom and
assembly
standard.
line.
I'll say standard.
Standard.
Wiring kits for your guitar. They'll turn your SG into an OMG, your Les Paul to a More Paul, your Explorer to a Settler. Wait, that's not good. They'll turn
your Explorer to your Settler.
They'll make your crappy guitar into a snappy guitar. They can do whatever you want. They got a great custom shop. Sean's really easy to work with, very accommodating and super nice guy. So hit him up, gunstreetwiringshop.com.
Hit him up style.
Your Explorer to a settle down with a nice girl.
No. I'm trying to think of like when I say settler, I mean like a colonist. There you go. They'll turn your Explorer into a colonist, a colonizer.
Colonizer.
Yeah, because you'll have all the power. It will have all the power.
Wait.
The white power.
Yikes.
The French power.
I just pounded my fist on my chest, like you do when you say something that you agree with.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ugh. When you say something that you agree with, I always say things I agree with.
Strangely, I say a lot of stuff that I don't agree with.
Guys, I have a question for you. What do you know about Thorpe effects? What's your experience with them? How do you feel about them, etc.?
I know that they make a really cool fuzz pedal called the Muff Room, or it used to be called that, and they had to change it to
Fallout Cloud.
Fallout Cloud, yeah.
Yeah, it was Muff Room Cloud.
And I know that they have a really unique enclosure design that the green, what's the green pedals?
Green Baby.
Yeah, Green Baby, that they completely ripped off and then tried to claim that they didn't, even though it is an exact copy of their enclosure.
Yeah, it's like just own it.
Just say it was a good idea, so we used it.
We thought it was cool, so we did something similar.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Especially because anyway, whatever.
Like if Vanilla Ice had just said we ripped off Pressure, it's a cool bass line. Everyone's like, oh yeah, it is cool.
Idiots.
So Green Child can go suck an egg.
Suck an egg.
That's what I'm saying. For many reasons, not just because of that.
Well,
but I don't know much other than that.
Oh. So Phil, are you familiar with him?
Yes, because we've talked about them on the show before.
Yeah, we've talked about your stupid school kids too, Phil, but you still won't shut up about them.
I'm just saying, if you're asking me if I'm familiar, yes, I am.
I'm not asking if you have heard of them. I'm asking what you know about them.
Speak to Thorpe pedals, Phil.
That's
very
my little
journalist question.
Okay, so you're aware of them but not familiar with them.
Tangentially, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah.
What do you think about Thorpe?
Well, the reason I ask is because I played some at NAMM on the last day, really quickly on my way out somewhere. But recently I've been looking for a cool overdrive, and I'm thinking about picking up one of their, either the Peacekeeper, which is a low gain overdrive, and I think I'm probably more leaning towards the Gunshot.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit higher. But the cool thing about the Peacekeeper overdrive is you can get one for less than $150 right now on a Reverb.
New?
No, it's used, I think, but they go for relatively inexpensive on the used market.
Yeah.
Especially the V1s. But the cool thing about it is I was watching a video, and the mid EQ is actually pre-gain, and the treble and bass are post.
Huh.
So it really changes the way that the gain structure when you mess with the mids. It's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, I just realized Thorpe and Greenchild are not the same.
You just realized that?
Yes.
After we spent the last couple minutes talking about how Greenchild ripped off their
did you
design?
think that Greenchild ripped off themselves?
I was kind of that's how much I No. Yes. No. Sorry.
Phil, have you ever spent any time in a large building in Jerome, Arizona?
You literally thought they were the same company?
No. I mean, I did say that, and
you did say that, yes.
So I say things that I don't agree with sometimes. You say things you don't think sometimes.
No, I thought it, and after I
need you to explain what's happening right now, because I'm thoroughly confused by what you're saying.
I think I thought in my head, pedal name with recent controversy, and I got those mixed up of what the recent controversy was.
So when I said, are you familiar with Thorpe, you thought I was talking about Greenchild.
I mean, I had, when you said, are you familiar with Thorpe, I was thinking, yeah, that guy that said all that jacked up stuff.
Okay.
And then you guys were saying, he's such a jerk. And then I was like, oh, yeah. Exactly.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Because he's mean to women.
You just
and then it was
misunderstood
like, no, he's not mean
who
to women.
we were talking about.
Yes, I have no
Misunderstood
interest,
is
no
very
interest
nicely
in buying anything from Green Child effects, but I do have interest in.
That's what got me really confused. I was
from
like,
Thorpe
why is Aaron being
effects.
so chill about this?
Not only do I have no interest in buying anything from Green Child, the one Green Child pedal that I was given, I sold immediately for much less than it was worth.
But I'm thinking I really want one of these pedals on my in my life because they look really cool, and they like. I wasn't sold on the enclosures at first, but I'm kind of sold on them now. It's pretty smart, like the way that it protects the knobs.
Yeah, because if you stomped really hard, if your foot, like, if you were stomping really hard and you missed,
Yeah.
the knobs are mostly protected because of those edges.
The other thing too that's nice is a lot of times like getting your board in and out of the case or whatever. The knobs just get turned.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's a good
get
point.
Turned.
Yeah.
And so it keeps them from getting turned.
Which is not like that's not a thing that would convince me to buy something like, oh, the knobs
no,
don't
but it's
get
like
knocked.
an extra little feature or whatever.
The fact that it looks cool and it's functional is pretty cool. And I like that all their pedals are just metal. Like they don't have a lot of. I mean, the artwork is like etched into the actual.
Yeah,
enclosure,
exactly.
Which is cool. I also played the Dane, which is Danish Pete's signature pedal, which is pretty freaking cool too.
Plus, Danish Pete is the man.
Yeah,
It's a pretty cool name.
I really like Danish Pete. He's like. Do you guys watch any of those videos?
Yes, I do sometimes.
He's like one of the more endearing people.
Yeah,
that you see. Like he seems to, be. I don't know. He doesn't take himself too seriously or whatever, but he's amazing at guitar. Why are they so like? I'm seeing them. They're all like 185 euros. Or wait, is that pounds? Yeah, that's pounds.
that's
I
pounds.
guess.
Yeah, that's the normal price for that pedal, I think.
Yeah, I was wondering why they're all so expensive on Reverb, but that's because I was thinking it was euros. But if it's pounds, that makes sense because the pound is still like way higher than $1, isn't it?
It's not that much higher, I don't think.
Let's see.
Well,
It is 1.3, which euro is basically like
higher,
equal to $1, I think.
So if a pedal's like $250 or pounds, that's going to be like $300
Yeah.
or like $325.
So
Ooh, yeah,
these
that's not cheap.
So the overdrive, the gunshot goes for, is it $250 new?
It's 185 pounds, so it's about that, I guess.
Which is like, 250
on Reverb. You can
kilograms
see
or something.
there's. Okay, here.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah,
like
new,
you can get
it
a
says-
gunshot. Yeah, they're all like 265-ish.
Yeah, and then here, so the cheapest one.
The gunshot new.
155.
Oh, that's never mind. 165 is the cheapest. 155, yeah.
155, and that's like isn't that a really big drop?
It is, but it's also there's V1 and V2, and I'm pretty sure that's a V1.
No, because there was another one that had like a bigger enclosure. I would assume that's the V1.
No, I think the V1
No,
and the
V1
V2 are the same enclosure.
There's probably like a gunshot deluxe or something.
There's
like
other
that.
pedals that have larger
okay.
enclosures. The Dane looks similar to the gunshot. It's also purple,
Okay, maybe that's
or
what I
it
was
has
thinking.
purple.
So-
but anyway, that one itself is not.
So this one that is the least expensive on Reverb posted 9 days ago for 175, and within 9 days he dropped it from 175 to 155.
Really?
This guy's thirsty. You should go for it. You should lowball him.
Oh man,
There's no.
Yeah.
He doesn't accept offers.
you got to message
really?
him. Maybe I'll message him later. But I don't want
Oh,
to spend
dude.
150 right now.
Did you put it in your cart, Phil? It
No.
says one other person has this in
Yeah,
their
I saw
cart.
that
Act
too.
fast.
Ooh,
That's kind of a cool feature, but I wonder if it's actually like I bet people just go through and put crap in their cart.
yeah.
Oh, I bet the seller could just go
Yeah.
put it.
Well, you'd have to have
Yeah.
like a separate account.
It's
then.
weird to put it. That's a weird phrase to use because it's like if I'm at a store and I put something in my cart and then somebody else comes along and buys
It is
it,
weird.
it's like, no, that's in my freaking cart, bro. You can't take it
Yeah.
out of my cart.
Yeah, because
and
they
buy
like
it.
that store analogy.
But you can't do that online. You can steal things from people's carts.
But that makes me like because like for tickets or whatever, a lot of times it'll say like,
you have like
as soon
5
as you
minutes
choose,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This makes me have less faith in their system that like, well, I'm not going to put it in my cart because then someone else will just come and buy it. Like, I don't
why would I put it in my cart? Right.
Like, you guys need to figure out your crap.
Yeah, they could just put a timer on it. Cause
I know it doesn't make rational sense, but I'm saying in my irrational mind,
it would suck if you're like a seller though, and like someone puts it in their cart and then no one else can buy it. So you're like, damn it.
That's true. Yes, you're right.
Now this thing is essentially off the market because some jackass put it in his cart.
Aaron.
I'm very upset about this.
Some J-ass. It'll turn a J-base into a J-ace.
Oh, yeah, they do bass work, too.
Do?
They do bass work.
They did the bass.
That is.
They did the wiring harness on my P-bass. Well, it's a PJ bass, but you know what I'm saying. And maybe I'll have them do a wiring harness for that Jaguar bass I got, because for the life of me I can't figure out like the one knob that's supposed to just be a volume knob for the bridge pickup like is notched in the middle, so it's like an EQ because it has active EQ, so like the one knob that's supposed to be EQ is notched in the middle so you can go up or down, but then the one that's supposed to just be a volume knob is also notched in the middle.
Weird.
So it's kind of,
it's not like some kind of blends knob.
It must be like, but I can't. But like when I tweak it to the extremes and stuff, I tap the pickups and I can't figure out the relationship between the two knobs.
Yeah, it's weird. That's weird.
Oh, you have the same bass.
Yeah, I have not figured it out yet either. I just turn everything up most of the time.
That's disappointing, but also makes me feel a little bit better about myself.
It's doing something, but I have no idea what.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only idiot, at least.
That's funny.
So, you guys been playing guitar at all lately?
I have not, because my amp doesn't work, and I only have one amp. But I have been playing acoustic guitar lately. Should we talk about your guitar? Yeah, we should talk about it, I guess. It's doing this weird thing, my amplifier, where it's not amplifying.
It's actually, it seems to be, I mean, almost attenuate. Or I guess it's just not amplifying at all.
It's just not doing anything, yeah. My guitar is as loud without my amp as it is with it.
Yes, exactly.
It's
a transparent, like transparent boosts are one thing, but this is a transparent amp.
Yeah.
But it looks really cool when you put your foot up on it, right?
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
It is a cool looking amp.
I lay on the ground and I put my foot up on the amp. Like
that is like the hard, like, because what did you? It's a classic 30.
Yeah, I paid $250 for it.
200 something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, then it doesn't. I don't. It's not worth enough to me to like put a bunch of money into getting it fixed.
Exactly. Because like you'd rather put that money towards amp, like that you actually like.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like worst case scenario is I could like pawn it off on someone, or even just like sell the speaker if I had to, and get some money out of it. But I think it's doing this weird thing where like one of the power tubes is like I think there's something with the power tube socket that's like causing the tubes to either overheat or do something where they like burn out really fast. Because I've gone through like, but then I put a new tube in and it still didn't work. So now I don't know what's going on. But it's confusing. So if anyone knows, this is a thing.
Part of what sucks too is like you should send it to someone like Brigham. And he would fix it for you, but then it's like, oh, then I still have to send this freaking 30-pound thing.
Mm-hmm. Like getting it fixed is basically like
or whatever.
Buying a replacement and are like the same,
or it's at least on the same like order of magnitude, you know?
Yeah, very similar price.
So
like,
it's
I could probably for the price of having someone look at it and work on it, I could buy another one, swap out the speaker, and sell the stock speaker, and like
heck, you could sell the amp as is, probably. If you had a bigger market.
That's true too.
You could list it as not functioning, because I sold like I had this PA speaker that I want to listen to Phil's kid.
Tell me about your PA speaker.
I had this PA speaker that was not working, which is even harder. Like, it's like this solid state amp, amplified speaker that, like a tube amp, like the classic 30. Somebody who knows a lot about tube amps, there's a very good chance they could diagnose it and fix it pretty quickly.
Right, it's like a Chevy or something.
But like some, off the shelf,
like a Honda,
like PA amp, like there could be, stuff that's just blown up that's impossible to fix because it's all just like this one circuit board and stuff. And I listed it as not working and got a bunch of replies right away for people that wanted it. I listed it for like $60 and it's like $100 speaker.
That's pretty crazy. So people cared.
Yeah, like I think people, they like, I don't know, they probably overestimate their ability to fix things for one thing.
Yeah, probably.
But maybe they did fix it, or maybe they repurposed it for something. So I wonder, you should just list it for sale for.
Yeah, I might do that. Luckily, I have
or
friends in
or something.
high places who one of my friends is gonna let me borrow an amp for a little bit.
What if you list it for a good price, and then whoever responds like, yes, I will take it for that price, then you say, I actually don't want to sell it, but you sound like you know how to fix amps, so can I pay you to fix it? Boom.
Well, but then he's still paying someone to fix it. The whole thing started with he doesn't want to pay someone to fix it.
No, he doesn't want to pay to ship it around and stuff.
Well, I don't want to pay to like.
You could take it to a local amp tech too.
If it would be like money. If it would be like $50, then sure, but I wouldn't want to pay like even $100 probably to fix it.
You honestly might be able to.
But I'm going to look into it. That's why I want to like ask our people if anyone knows if that's like a normal thing. I might even be able to just kind of get in there and.
What do you mean by our
simple.
People?
Like people who listen to us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I bet. Well, and for one thing, like the Classic 30 and Classic 50, I had one for a while, and I remember reading. There's just like a bunch of common issues with them.
Yeah,
like
they're
can't
so
like
prevalent.
out of the factory they had issues, and I think the tube sockets was one of them. But I bet somebody will know and think, oh yeah, I know what you're probably up against. The other thing that like it'd be fun to like dig into it and just start messing with it yourself, but then there's always like this fear in your mind, like, am I going to touch one of these big capacitors and like kill myself or whatever? Which you're probably not going to, but you never know.
Oh, here you go. This is from November 21st, 2011 on the gear page. I recently bought a used PV Classic 30. It blew a power tube, and I replaced it. A short time later, it cut out completely.
Ooh, this.
I had a friend take a look at it. He resoldered a few dry joints and replaced the power tubes, and it seemed okay for about a week.
Juicy.
It then made a loud noise and smoked and stopped working again. Haven't had that happen yet.
I've made a lot of noise and smoked a few times.
What I'm asking is, should I look into getting it fixed or just admit I've bought a Duff and amp and chuck it? Duff and amp? Weird.
What is this person? Are they from South Africa or something?
I have no idea.
I bought a Duff and amp.
Another thing that would be cool is to like, if I was going to like scrap it, or I could like keep the chassis, like the box, the cabinet,
totally,
and the speaker, and like do something cool with it.
Yeah.
But so we'll see. Hopefully, it's an easy thing, but I have a feeling it's.
That's the thing is like,
Aaron,
the enclosure and everything is really cool looking too. It's a black tweed, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing is
Aaron,
like
how many cats do you have?
I have 2.
Dude, you should gut it and make it like one of those little cat things.
I hate cats.
Yeah, cats are the worst.
You have 2 cats.
I don't hate my cats.
Well, I have 2 kids, and never mind.
You're gonna gut your amp and make your kids live
Make
in
a kid thing. Make one of those kid things.
A little kid cubby hole.
The other thing is like I feel like if you don't know how to do it, it's almost harder to repair like a production amp because everything is so efficient inside, that it's difficult to get to.
But that's what I'm saying is like those. This is a tube amp from 15 or 20 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. It's like a
like there. It's
model.
you have a much better chance of repairing that than you do of repairing a current, like, solid state amp or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, either one, it's not like some point to point. And that's like the only argument I accept for why point to point amps are better, is because they're easier to service and stuff.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Aaron, but I thank you for your service.
Thank you. Hey, all gave some, but some gave all.
Your amp gave all. Some amps give some. All amps give some, but Aaron's amp gave all.
My amp gives a whole lot of nothing. This episode is also, of course, sponsored by the Gabrielle Tornado String Company, maker of the best strings for your guitar, period.
Your guitar, period?
Do you think that's what I meant? I'm just kidding.
That sounds like a period in music. People are going to look back on this period now and say, like, oh, that was the guitar period.
Hand wound, solid. You can get the nickel core, solid nickel, pure nickel strings, or you can get like standard steel core. But they're all the round core.
The nickel is like his big focus right now, I think.
Yes.
And I would recommend getting those ones.
Yeah, for sure. You can also get acoustic strings. He's got brass, or what's the other one they do?
I don't know.
It's like common.
You could get strings for your lute.
What's a common metal for acoustic strings?
Why can't I think of it?
Strings for your...
It's like an alloy.
Ukulele?
Oh, phosphor bronze. So you can get he does the
bronze.
phosphor bronze or the brass.
Phosphor the bronze?
Yeah, phosphor the bronze people.
All the other kids with the phosphor bronze. And you can even get like piano strings, anything. You can get bow strings for if you're a bow hunter.
He will restring your violin bow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with
he makes horsehair.
Wait, those aren't metal.
He makes horsehair too. Phil?
Does he makes horsehair?
Yeah, that's weird. He grows it in a petri dish
by hand.
Yeah. It has it's some nanostructure that he's developed. He's a Scientologist.
State of the art stuff here.
Call back.
No, he's not. No, it's not.
Also, Gabrielle is just really fun to hang out with. If you ever get a chance to visit his shop, do it. It's a tiny little...
What would be really fun would be
literally
to hear a conversation between Gabrielle and a Scientologist.
That would be fun. Although he probably would be really nice to them because he's...
Yeah.
I don't think he would like call them out right away.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a very religious person, and he's very nice to me. He probably thinks I'm an idiot, but...
He definitely does. Not really. He likes you, I think. This is pillow talk. I shouldn't be talking. I shouldn't be sharing this stuff. Do we have anything else to add to this episode?
Thanks for friendship. Thanks for your service.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your March. We love you. Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for your service.